holding a grudge means that you're allowing that person to have authority over you. Why do that? Like, what do you actually gain from that? Nothing. That's the answer. It's nothing. Hello everyone, happy new year. My name is Leah and welcome to my channel. So today what I really wanted to talk about was ways that we can reset or reprogram our life in the year 2022. Now, being stagnant is one of the easiest things that anybody can do. All you have to do is literally sit in your comfortability all day and all night. But who grows in comfortability? Like, who actually evolves and becomes better if they're still remaining in the same seat and you're not taking any steps forward, right? So today we're going to talk about some of the actions that a lot of us, take that causes us to remain stagnant. So number one is to stop taking things personally. Oh my gosh, it's easier said than done. That affects our confidence, it affects our appearance, it affects how other people perceive us as well. So for us to actually stop taking things personally, we need to understand why we take things personally. And I personally believe that we just want our egos to be acknowledged. We want them to be soothed. We want to be right 100% of the time. The fact that we want our egos to be soothed constantly is going to be an endless battle within ourselves, in our minds, literally something that we will replay over and over and over again. To stop taking things personally, I've learned to actually look at situations from other people's perspective. So for example, there was a time where I was with a group of people and I was kind of confined in that space for a limited amount of time. And I noticed that, these group of people, they'd always speak, they'd always have something to say. It's my turn now to speak. I want to say something, I want to share my own experience. And I noticed that, that's the time everyone is like, oh, well, I just want to go grab a bite. I just need to call someone. And I kind of question myself, like, am I boring? Do people not like listening to what I have to say? And that really, that weighed on me. I was like, oh, do I need to change my method of speaking? Is it the way I carry myself? Like, what is it? I started questioning myself. Can I not speak well? And I took that personally. To me, that meant people just didn't want to listen to me. And that's such a horrible feeling, like the feeling that no one wants to listen to what you have to say. And so what do? Automatically, you keep shut. And so that's exactly what I did. I just kept shut. I just didn't say anything. And then they realized and they noticed. Now, that can be problematic within itself when it comes to dynamics that you have that are actually important to you. So say like romantic relationships, you need to be able to voice up and speak out. You have to be able to express how you feel. Like you can't expect people to read your mind, right? And so being able to verbalize how you feel or to some way articulate the emotions that you're going through or the thoughts that are in your head to people that matter to you is so important. And once these people noticed, I decided that I was going to speak up and be like, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like you listen to me when I'm talking, and so I just decided that I was going to keep quiet. And all you hear is, oh my gosh, no. And then I realized looking at things from other people's perspective is so important, because if you're sitting down with a group of people, right, and let's say you have 45 minutes to spend with these group of people, let's say every single day, maybe it's during break time or something like that, right? For 40 minutes, maybe you guys are talking, and then the last 5 minutes, people are starting to get ready to leave or to go back to their job, just to resume the previous activities that they were participating in, right? And now it's your turn to speak. Obviously, people are thinking about the next steps they're going to take, the next things that they're meant to be doing, and they're not really thinking about you. But although to me, at that moment in time, it seemed like, oh my gosh, nobody wanted to listen to me. And it was just a coincidence. It was just something that happened to happen, and I learned to just let go of that situation. So really looking at things from people's perspectives before we jump to conclusions is very important. With that being said, it just means that it's important that we understand what people's intentions are, and to be able to actually read that. It's very important that we make room and space for understanding without being irritated, without being irritable. Like be aware of what's going on and try to understand why people do what they do without just jumping to conclusions and saying, well, nobody's listening to me, oh my gosh, like I'm a loser, I'm gonna be a loner for the rest of my... No, it doesn't work that way, and sometimes it just happens. And then there are times when we receive constructive criticism, right? And that can be a little bit difficult to actually handle, because what the person may be saying about you could be true. We have to realize, okay, this person said that, well, I have a hot temper and I kind of need to take a step back and chill a little bit. Instead of taking that personally and saying, well, you said this to me, you told me that my shoes weren't really nice today or whatever, something petty and childish like that. Instead of like taking that personally and, you know, attacking the other person because of what they said to be true, you take a step back and you realize, okay, maybe I do have a bit of an anger issue and maybe I can seek help. Maybe I can learn to be, you know, slow to speak. You know, slow to speak, quick to listen, right? Like the Bible says, we have to be slow to speak and quick to listen without getting annoyed or getting angry so easily or getting so irritated, right? And that helps. That allows people to feel more open and welcome to speak to you, because they know that you are understanding and you've created that room, right? And now you've created a space for or of comfortability. Taking things personally can be an advantage to you because it just means that you're engaged and you have ethical standards, right? But then it's important that we keep a balance between our ethical standards and, you know, being hypersensitive and then being too concerned. The next thing a lot of us need to stop doing in 2022 is negative self-talk. Or at least if you experience negative self-talk, to twist that so it becomes positive self-talk. The power that we give the voice in our head is incredibly important. Everything that goes on in here, if you give it too much power, it begins to display itself out here. If you walk into a room that is filled with intelligent people, just remember that you're in that room for a reason, firstly. Before you start saying, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be half as intelligent, half as powerful as these people. Stop with the negative self-talk. The minute you start to give those thoughts so much power and authority to rule your mind, they begin to exude themselves. Those emotions, those thoughts exude themselves in your appearance, in how you approach other people, in how you speak, in how you carry yourself. Remember that, right? What goes on in here is carried out here. Granted that we all hear those thoughts, right? We can acknowledge them. It's okay to acknowledge those thoughts. Okay, right now, I don't feel very comfortable. I feel like I'm a little bit out of place, but that's okay. I don't feel steady, you know, but that's all right. I'm going to acknowledge that feeling. What am I going to do to overcome that feeling so that I feel a little bit more comfortable? Another thing that people struggle with is holding grudges. Now, this is something that I can't relate with because I am a very forgiving person. I forgive and I forget. I am a Christian, and that's, you know, that's like a motto for Christians. And so that's something that I live by, right? But a lot of people find it very difficult to let go of things. It really isn't that hard. I think the first thing to do is to think to yourself, am I doing myself a favor or am I doing myself a disservice? Think about that. Because holding a grudge is like allowing a person to live rent-free in your head. Why would you do that? Like, why would you possibly do that? I'm gonna say that again. Holding a grudge is like allowing a person to live rent-free in your head. Why would you possibly do that? So let's imagine, right, you had a really close friend who said something horribly about you behind your back. You can do either one of two things. You could either hold a grudge and hold so much resentment within yourself to the point that, like, when you see that person, the only emotions that stir up within you is anger and hatred and resentment, right? You are literally resentful. Or you can forgive that person. Doesn't necessarily mean that they can maintain a position in your life. You can love that person from a distance. That's okay, right? You can do either one of those two things. And, you know, what you do is really for you. It's not for the other person. It's for you. It's for your own peace of mind. The decisions that we make, the decisions that we take, is for the pleasantness of something else. If I'm going to decide to love that person from a distance, that means I'm looking for peace within myself. I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for the pleasantness of peace, right? Because when I have peace of mind, I have everything. Nothing can make me unsteady, or nothing can make me rocky or shake, because I am at peace within myself. And that's the thing. Holding a grudge means that you're allowing that person to have authority over you. Why do that? Like, what do you actually gain from that? Nothing. That's the answer. It's nothing. You meet people where they're at. Remember that person could be in a stage in their lives where that's all they know. That's obviously the reason why they spoke so badly behind your back, because that's what they know. You need to step back and say, well, I forgive you. You're doing it for yourself, not for the other person. The fact that you are still holding a grudge does not mean anything to that person, because you're the one that's holding the grudge. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I really do hope that at least one person took something out of today's video, and I hope that, we all try our best to evolve and to grow and to step up and out of that seat of comfortability to get a little bit uncomfortable. That's okay. That's healthy. Nobody wants to be stagnant. Everybody wants to move forward, and that's what we should all aim for. All right, thanks so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Mwah! Bye.